What's up, guys? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is Season 6, Episode 9, and the episode is titled Ready to Pop Off. Let's get right into the review. So, Marceau is going back home so that way he can talk to Tisha about the conversation between him, Martell, and Tiff, right? But before we even get to that conversation, y'all, why is Tisha boxing stuff up? Because they decided, oh, we're going to move. No, not into their little dream house that they've been attempting to build, but they're going to actually move into an apartment, fix up the house that they're staying in, and then move back. That makes no sense to me, but I'm going to let them rock because I'm just thinking, why would y'all move into an apartment knowing that it's y'all two as well as 3 kids? That sounds like you're moving backwards, but if this is what y'all gotta do, I'm just gonna let y'all do y'all thing. So they talk about the whole thing with Tiffany and Martell and how Tiffany's mouth was reckless and Marceau didn't know that her mouth was like this. And honestly, they just feel like Tiffany is always doing too much. She's an habitual line stepper. Those were Marceau's words. And they feel like it was very inappropriate for her to ask Sheree those questions. But if I'm being completely honest, was it inappropriate, especially considering this was the first time that she met Sheree? Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're making TV. That's what we're doing. That is what we're here to do. She asked the questions that the viewing audience probably wanted to know how Sheree felt about certain things. And I'm not even mad at Tiffany for doing that. Somebody had to get the ball rolling on this show. Because if we want to be completely honest, like, y'all not bringing it. Like, y'all really not. The Scotts, neither families are really bringing it. So if we have Sheree here, yeah, let's have someone question her so that way we can know why she's really with Martell. You know what I'm saying? And what are her thoughts on him? Now, one thing that I do want to say is that it does seem like, Tiffany was kind of ambushed when it came to this conversation with Martell, because she was coming there with total different intentions besides this conversation of her talking to Sheree. She thought she was coming there on like some business type stuff. But no, they were there to question her about what she had to say to Sheree. So she goes to tell her husband what went down at this meeting. He's like, why is it 2 dudes questioning my wife, of course. And I will say this, Marceau did not need to be there at all. He actually added more fuel to the fire. And then when it comes to, them talking about this whole thing, it's like, yeah, sure, she may not have, had the best idea to ask Sheree these questions. However, Sheree can handle herself. If Sheree would have felt uncomfortable, she could have easily moved out of the situation. So as Tiffany is telling Louis about this whole thing, even he was taken aback at the fact that she asked her, how does it feel to be with a cheater? Okay? So he definitely recognizes that the questions that his wife asked were a little out there. Now, we flash back to Letitia and Marceau. And he says the line about how she said, oh, you think your is so good that'll keep Martell. And here's my thing. What's annoying to me is that now everybody's like, oh my gosh, she said that word. Oh my God, that word, that's what she said. And I'm just like, yeah, a lot of people use the P word. I'm not understanding why that's such a big deal, especially considering I feel like Tiffany was just talking to her just like as she would be talking the same way she would with her homegirls. The only difference is she don't really know Sheree like that. So Marceau is going on and on giving Tisha all the details about what went down, right? Now, according to Marceau, he feels like Tiff should definitely be a question, and Letitia actually feels like Tiffany has pretty privilege, and she ain't even really that pretty according to Marcel. So I was like, oh, okay. That's what we're going to equate that to. Back over to Tiff and Lewis, though. It's clear that she feels some type of way that Marcel called her a Karen. And she also feels some type of way because at the end of the day, why wasn't two men talking to her? Now, I do understand that because Marcel, what were you really there for? To just witness the foolishness? Because he had a lot of things to say. He kept chiming in. Now, as far as Big Lou, he feels like Martell should have came to him. If you have a problem with my wife, you should come to me. Now, here's where I will say, I hate this whole men can only talk to men and women can only talk to women. Because if we want to be technically honest, Martell, he has the right to feel some type of way that Tiffany, as his supposed friend, is questioning the new woman in his life with questions that are not appropriate for when you're first meeting somebody. Period. I get that. However, Tiffany had a job to do because we on reality TV. On top of that, the initial conversation was a woman-to-woman conversation. If Sheree had an issue, she could have said something. But no, she ran to Martell, and now Martell had to go jump down Tiffany's throat. And now we're going to see Big Lou jump down Martell's throat. So now you have Tisha and Marcel still talking about how, well, Tiffany's baby shower is coming up. And honestly, I'm just kind of like, I think that is messy as hell for this conversation that's going to happen later to happen at somebody's baby shower. I'm just going to be completely honest. Then you hop back over to Big Lou, though. He's like, oh, well, they gonna feel it because these were the same guys telling me how I need to come to them about situations and all of this stuff. But baby boy has all the smoke for Martell and Marcel. Now let's jump on over to Kimmy and Maurice. They're riding in the car and they talk about her treatments and how, she does have hair growing back in certain places now. They also talk about how, her hair was a part of her beauty. Because, she did shave her hair off. And as a woman, being beautiful, or at least feeling beautiful, it does come into a lot of how you see yourself. Like some people, they have to have their nails, the lashes, the makeup done for them to feel pretty. So now they talk about their sex life and how basically when they do have sex, they're only having it because he needs some. That's pretty much it. Because she's still going through chemo, all this stuff, and this man has just learned that his wife has been faking it this whole time since she has, been going through this cancer situation. I can't lie, his facial expression, that really did hurt his little ego, baby. But I think it is so crazy, y'all, that just last season, he was sitting up there saying that he wanted to have sex with her 2 to 3 times a day. Remember that? Every day? Like, Maurice is just a lot. I've realized that. And on top of that, I just feel bad for Kimmy. I do. Because, girl, you got enough going on trying to get your own health together. And now you out here faking it so that you don't bruise Maurice's ego. Girl. When I tell you this would have been my opportunity to leave that man high and dry, I definitely would have left him high and dry. Be like, I got chemo in the morning. I got to do this for my health. We ain't doing nothing. Because the way he tried to play at her face when they went to go see Dr. Francis that time, baby, I would have been getting revenge. I don't have time for Maurice. All right, y'all. So now we get this next scene with Kimmy talking to her friend now about her lack of a sex drive and how basically she's having sex with her husband so that way he don't step out the marriage. That's all I got from this conversation. I'm like, why did we just run these two scenes back to back? This scene lasted extremely too long. No, ma'am. Let's go ahead and move on and get to this baby shower. So, of course, we're at Tiff and Lewis's baby shower. One thing that I noticed is that Tisha brought a gift, Nell and her husband bought a gift, and Kimmy and Maurice had nothing in their hands. I was giving a side eye. Oh, and also, Stormy and Courtney showed up. They didn't have a gift either. I'm sorry, I'm so sick of seeing people show up to baby showers on TV shows and they're coming in empty-handed. That's annoying. Alright, so now we have, what's her name? Letitia. She's talking about how, Marcel might not be coming to the baby shower because he's not feeling Tiffany right now. Here's my thing. Marcel, this had nothing to do with you, so you really shouldn't feel any type of way about Tiffany. Now, I think that is super messy and extremely nosy for Letitia to go ask Nell, how does Melody feel about Martell dating other women? Like, why did you feel like that was appropriate? But y'all so worried about what Tiffany's doing because she went directly to the source and asked the questions. But you're over here trying to fish out information from Nell. Girl, I see you. Nonetheless, Nell is telling them, like, she's fine with him dating other people, whatever. But she also says that she's not ready to meet anyone yet. As in, Melody isn't ready to meet anybody that Martell is dating. I don't think it's that she's not ready to meet the women that Martell is dating. I just think that she doesn't want to meet them at all, period. She don't want nothing to do with what Martell got going on. The only thing that Melody has any type of concern when it comes to Martell is those children. That's it. She don't care about who he's screwing. She don't care about what type of business he's doing. That is none of her concern. The only concern that Melody has when it comes to Martell is those kids. After that, she don't want to hear about it. By the way, we do see that Mel is arriving. Yes, she had a gift. Shout out to her. Alright, so as we see Mel taking photos with Tiffany in the photo booth, you have a conversation happening at the table where you have Kimmy, Maurice, the Fletchers, you have Stormy and Courtney. Who else was there? Did I already say Kimmy and Maurice? Oh, and Letitia was there, right? And they're all asking, like, where's Marceau? Where's Marceau? Oh, him and Martell have an issue with Tiffany right now, or whatever. So they don't know if they wanted to come to the baby shower. Okay, if you have an issue with her, you're not feeling her, don't come to her baby shower. I'm sorry, but if we want to call a thing here, is it appropriate for y'all to be gossiping about the mother to be at her own baby shower right now? Absolutely not. And then also on top of that, is it appropriate for if Martell and Marceau to feel some type of way about this woman? Why show up to her baby shower? Like, it's so crazy to me how everyone's trying to call Tiff out. But I'm like, do y'all see what y'all are doing? Because y'all ain't no better than Tiffany. It's the same shit. Like, it really is. So the first thing that, Letitia talks about is how, Tiff said, how does it feel to date a cheater? Here goes Stormy chiming in. Oh, yeah, she told me that. And then she goes on to say the line about how, what did she say? Oh, do you think that your vagina is going to keep Martell around or whatever? Oh, whoa, everybody's shook at the table. And Stormy chimes in, oh, she didn't tell me that. I'm like, listen, nobody should tell Stormy anything because baby girl's going to repeat everything verbatim anyways. Now, keep in mind that they're having this conversation. So Mel has made her way around the party. She done hugged people, all this stuff. She say hey to them because now you realize this is where the cast, they all have to sit. So she come over there or whatever, takes a seat next to Tisha, and here come Nell. Are we gonna have this conversation with Mel at the table? And Mel is like, what are you talking about? What conversation? Because she clearly is oblivious to the information that is about to be told to her. So Letitia takes the lead on this. It says that, we were talking about something that happened with someone that Martell is dating. We don't know if you're comfortable, hearing about this or whatever. And Mel is like, yeah, y'all can talk about whatever. Because clearly it was probably going to go in one ear and out the other because she don't care about nothing Martell got going on, right? So Nell goes straight to the point. It's like, well, Tiffany asked Sheree, blah, 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 right? And I'm just like, Nell, I thought you were friends with Melody. It's clear that you're not. You so busy trying to get you a spot on this show, you are willing to be just as messy as the rest of the cast. Melody's face was completely stunned, and the next thing you know, she gets up. She's like, yeah, I'm going to go make me a plate of food. Because honestly, that is not something I would expect to hear. Number one, at a baby shower. Number two, just no. Just no. Now, what's crazy to me is that if y'all caught it, Mel gets up, she goes to go fix her a whole plate of food, y'all. And I'm pretty sure she took her precious time fixing this plate of food. She was not trying to rush back to that table. So she comes back to the table and story starts up again. Did y'all hear the other part though? Did y'all hear the other part of what she said? So you mean to tell me y'all didn't wrap that conversation up? Y'all still going with it? Y'all need some hobbies. Y'all are really gossiping about a conversation happening between Tiffany and Sheree at Tiffany's baby shower. So now you have Melody having to clear the air and say, no, I don't know Sheree. I met her once because I was speaking on a panel that she was also at. So yes, we took a picture, but that was it. And one thing that I can respect about Mel is that she said her issues are not with these new people or whatever, but her issues are with one person. And we all know who that is, Martell. Speaking of Martell, here come him and his bestie Marceau. They come strolling in the door. And I'm just like, why are y'all here? Y'all don't like Tiffany. Why are you at her baby shower? This is not the time or the place for any of this if we want to call a thing a thing. But my bad, we so busy trying to call out Tiffany because what she did with Sheree was oh so bad. But now you have Dumb and Dumber showing up because they have nothing else better to do. Now, did y'all catch how Marceau, he hugged Stormy? You see her husband, Courtney, his hand is out so that way he can shake his hand. Baby, he saw Melody. Hey, Mel. That man's so thirsty to get any type of attention from Melody. It's ridiculous. Keep in mind, I'm talking about Marceau, y'all. I'm not even talking about Martell at the moment. So you have, what's his name? Marceau saying that he needs a seat, right? And Melody is like, oh, don't you worry, you can have mine. Because she's about to head out, baby. Once Martell walked in, she was ready to go. Alright, so now we got to get to the conversation between Martell, Big Lou, and Marceau is there, I guess, for moral support for Martell. So here's the thing. The fact that you said, oh, I came here so I can have a conversation with Big Lou. You decided to come there on the day of their baby shower to have this conversation? Are you serious? So first things first, Big Lou wants to hear from them what happened, what went down. Because, of course, his wife felt some type of way that you have two men confronting her about a conversation that she had with another woman. Yeah. So, according to Martell, their initial conversation was supposed to be about Selma. Selma was never mentioned that whole time that they were sitting there. Y'all, honestly, as I watched these men have this conversation, I realized that I was on Big Lou's side, and I'm not changing it. I'm sorry. Because at the end of the day, y'all are two grown men. Number one, you told her that she was going to be there for one reason. You flipped, changed it to a whole other subject. Then on top of that, you're mad because she talks to Sheree like this. Honestly, I don't give a about Sheree. I really don't. So if Sheree wanted to check her, she could have. Because the thing is, it's not like Sheree did not know, what to say. Sheree wasn't prepared for these questions, so she was just stuttering and not flustered, not know what to do in the moment. No. Sheree answered every question. Like, she didn't seem like she had issue with what Tiffany had to say. Were the questions that Tiffany asked a bit much? Sure. But at the end of the day, don't make it seem like Sheree couldn't handle herself and she was some damsel in distress. No. On top of that, like Big Lou said, what does Marceau have to do with this? Why is he chiming in? Because honestly, at one point, Marceau had more to say than Martell did. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, last time I checked, this is Martell's issue, sir. You were technically there just for moral support, but you kept chiming in like you're doing now. But then I realized Marceau still has a problem with Big Lou when Big Lou was right about his marriage with Letitia. So anytime somebody comes at Big Lou and Tiff, he's down for it. So next thing you know, y'all, as they're arguing, here comes Maurice. I said, we sure don't need you out here because you never make any situation better. So now we're going back and forth. Things are getting heated and I was over it. Because I'm like, y'all really out here arguing in the front yard like this? This is ghetto. And how did we end this conversation? With them saying that Martell and Sheree deserve an apology. You know what? Throw the whole damn show away. I'm over it. Like, once I saw the men joking around and, hugging at the end, I was like, what the fuck did we just sit through? This was dumb. Big Lou, I need you to stand 10 toes down the whole time and not fold when you with these Negroes. Because at the end of the day, they not really your friend. They're not. So he go back into the house. You have Tiff over there crying. She says that she's feeling nauseous. And then she also tells her husband that she's seeing stars. She's feeling dizzy. Y'all, and that is where the episode left off. They said to be continued, so we shall see what's going on with Tiffany next week. Honestly, I was over this episode. I need For Love and Marriage Huntsville to come up with something else, because this ain't it. Let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.